Hey everyone, welcome back to another Jazz Drum Q-Tip of the week. My name, of course, is Quincy Davis. If you get value out of this lesson, let me know by leaving comments. I love hearing from everybody, even the haters. Press the like button and, of course, subscribe, okay? So I'm jumping right into this lesson. It's a new format I'm trying out. You got to let me know if you like it, where I just jump right in. And in this lesson, I'm going to talk about what does it mean to tip when you're playing time on the drums, because it's not just time on the ride cymbal. You're playing time on the drums, and it's a very it's a hard concept to kind of break down, and that's why I don't think there are any other videos. I've never done one. So here we are, unprecedented, first time ever talking about tipping and what it means to tip on the drums. So I'm going to play the ride cymbal two different ways. And I'm going to pull up my trusty bass player. I'm sure many of you guys know about my trusty bass player and the play-alongs. Check them out. So this is the first way. I'm going to play in a way that does not have much forward momentum, okay? Here we go. Okay, can you hear it? And it's not bad. Okay, so that's the first way. Now I'm gonna do it in another way that emphasizes the chord. Emphasizes. Wow, that's a difficult word for me today, at least. Emphasizes the quarter note. Here we go. Can you hear it? And I'm going to go back to the other way now. Right? And then the other way with more of a forward momentum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You hear the weight on the quarter note? Right? So it's important to be able to, first of all, distinguish the difference when you're listening, but then also implement the difference, right, in feel. So the first way, all the notes were even. There's so many different approaches to playing the ride cymbal. All the notes were even in that case. No special accents or emphasis on any specific beats. But in this way, and this is something that Kenny Clarke established to kind of to keep the weight of the quarter note that he would play with during the swing era when playing with a big band. So you hear the boom, 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 boom. Well, when he transitioned time to the ride cymbal, he wanted to maintain that weighted quarter note feeling. So instead of doing this, same rhythm, but now he did this. So you can still feel that quarter note. So that's the first thing that you got to know about tipping, is that you got to have some kind of forward momentum with a weighted quarter note. Okay. The other thing is it can't be loud, right? It can't be bombastic. It has to kind of have a light but intense kind of feeling. So instead of going, right? Let me put it with the bass drum, bass player. So instead of doing that, obviously I'm exaggerating, but now watch this. I'm going to try to keep it cool. Down there. And that's hard to try to create and maintain an intensity level and a forward momentum and strong feel add a quiet dynamic. But that's the idea of tipping, right? And you feel it, and then you add your hi-hat. Woo! We can even play quieter, and you can even do it on the bell, right? Has that tipping kind of feel, like you're tipping around. Okay, so that's another element, is that it can't get too loud. It's got to kind of be cool. It's got to be under control. Another element, though, we can't tip by ourselves. While we're tipping, everybody else is doing something. Everybody has to be invested and into the idea of creating this intense but quiet, fiery feeling, right? I always say to my students, fire is quiet, but it's powerful, and there's a lot of energy, and it's extremely intense. But fire, relative to its size, is pretty quiet, right? So we want to be like fire, okay? So that means that everyone has to be bought in. Bass player is walking just like we're doing with these play-alongs. Boom, 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 boom. And then the pianist can't be at boom, no. That's kind of a typical rhythm, some kind of riffing kind of rhythm. Light, light, light. A good example of this is on when you listen to Miles Davis's quintet, and you listen to specifically Red Garland's solo, who's the pianist in that first quintet. He would often just get to that feeling of it. It's just tipping. It's just tipping, right? They're just kind of creating this intense feeling without the volume, right? After Coltrane play, and then the band would just get into this groove, and they would not let that thing go. That's tipping, okay? So any of the working, relaxing, cooking, steaming albums, they all do it. There's a tune called Diane. Check out Diane on Steamin'. Great example of tipping, okay? So the band has to be bought in. And another example of this is Roy Hargrove. The album is called Of Kindred Souls, and the tune is called My Shining Hour. And listen to Roy Hargrove's solo, okay? And that's an excellent modern-day example of tipping. And that's essentially it, okay? So it doesn't mean that you can't play stuff in addition to, but, right? So we're playing. Everything's quiet. Right? And all the rhythms that you play have to propel the time in a specific way. And I also want to say there's a way of playing that kind of is there's like a undulation or a pushing and a pulling of the time that you can create. So instead of just playing, you don't have to just play that, though you can do that. But also you can as long as what you're adding when you're playing that shuffle is swinging. So I'm kind of thinking about the shuffle. Da, 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 da. So whenever I play my skip beat, it's on that grid, right? So, da, 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 da. But there's variation and variety in my ride beat, not pattern. Because now you notice it's not a pattern. It's ever changing, but it still feels good. And it creates that pushing and the pulling of the time. It's very subtle, but it makes it feel alive. It makes it feel human, right? It makes it feel present and relevant to what you are hearing in that moment from the rest of the band. Okay? So all these elements put together create that feeling of tipping, right? Tipping. And actually, Jimmy Cobb was a great tipper, and he actually literally played on the tip of his stick like this. I don't know how he did it. I'm going to try. There's a good video of him playing with Miles So Wet, and he's playing. It's kind of like that. Obviously, it sounds way better than this. Right? So that's a very bad example or rendition of me trying to sound like Jimmy Cobb. I apologize, Jimmy. But the point is that he would really literally take that to heart and play on the tip of his stick. So, but however you got to get to it, these are kind of the main elements to be aware of, okay? So with all of that said, I want you guys to have fun with this and try it. When you play with people, you should actually practice tipping together because, as I said, you can't do it by yourself. You got to do it with a group, okay? Get these play-alongs or play along with a record and just tip away. Tip quiet, though. We're still swinging. Woo. Woo. Right? Have fun with this. And as always, practice hard, but practice smart. Take care. I'm just going to tip the rest of the day away. Take care. Peace.